Welcome to the first FightOnLive Podcast. I'm your host, Brad, and I'm joined with the other owner of this account, Aaron. Say what's up.
Alright, what's up?
So basically today in our agenda, we're going to be talking about USC Hoops, like the season overall breakdown and how we did it in the NCAA tournament and what to expect for next year. And after that, we're going to be talking about USC football, spring practice, recruits, who's been doing well, who hasn't been. And at the end, we're going to do a few miscellaneous things.
Yeah, just like some fun questions. And we want you guys to submit them too. Anything you can talk about.
Yeah, you can just comment whatever. And, well, this week we're going to be making our own questions, but in future episodes, you guys can leave comments down below,
Right.
And we'll talk about it.
And we want this to be an interactive type of thing. I mean, we've always tried to reply to whatever people would tell us or ask us. So we want you guys to send in whatever you have.
Yeah. Alright, let's get into US Hoops. So,
Wrapping up the
unfortunately,
season.
unfortunately our season came to an end yesterday against Baylor. But let's not take away what we accomplished this season.
Right. This
So-
season we were 26-10. And it doesn't sound too crazy, especially with, I guess, our football tradition. But that's the most wins that we've ever had. And wrapping up last year's 20-win season, USC basketball hasn't ever looked this bright in a long time.
Yeah, so our tournament win, our last tournament win actually comes all the way back to 2007, I believe. So about a decade ago. And when Coach Andy Enfield came to this program about 4 years ago, it was like really
Yeah,
bleak.
we were terrible.
We had like
And the
one
first 2
win in the
years, he was
Pac-12. Yeah.
we weren't good at all either. His first 2 years, I think we only had 1 or 2 Pac-12 wins combined.
Yeah.
And now, we had 10 last year, which wasn't the best. We went 10-8, but it's a big step forward.
Yeah. So let's just break down what we like the whole season overall. So I think we started about 16-0.
16, I think even, yeah, 16 or maybe even 18, 17, 16 around there.
Yeah, something like that. And then we like about half of our losses came to
Yeah, it
teams
came
that
to
are,
the
like,
we were
really
I think
top
we
of
were
the notch.
like 1-6 I think against the Pac-12's top 3, Arizona,
Yeah.
Oregon, and UCLA. But some of them were close. Especially the last game we played against UCLA, we only lost by 1-2.
Yeah, and look at UCLA right now. They're probably gonna make Elite Eight, Final
Right.
Four at the very least. Actually,
Let's break
all three of
down.
these teams.
Yeah, but let's break down the players, our players this year. So let's go through the individual performances, I guess. So Jordan McLaughlin, what are your thoughts on his season?
Okay, Jordan McLaughlin, junior year. He's basically our senior in the starting lineup. We're a very young team. We only have one senior in Sam Dillon, which more
Yeah, he
like a
doesn't play.
cheerleader on our team.
Yeah.
So J-Mac, I'd consider would be our captain, and he really showed that towards the end of the season. In the beginning, he was like kind of, how do I say? He was kind of like
I think actually throughout the whole
average.
year, you've had times where Jordan McLaughlin looks like a top 3, looks like possibly an NBA point guard. But there's also these games where he just
disappears,
vanishes.
Yeah.
Doesn't take many shots. Assist-wise, he's always been getting a good amount of assists. If you look through his season stats, compared to last year, he's averaging 2 minutes more. However, his field goal percentage slipped a tiny bit, 3-point percentage a little bit, but his free throw percentage went up, and also his assists have went up.
Yeah,
But-
he was third in the Pac-12 with 5.4 assists for the longest time. And also, one thing that I liked was after the Washington State game, that's where he got a triple-double. I feel that his confidence rose all the way up.
Do you think it's a bit odd that, in general, his stats compared to last year, really, he's been less of a scorer, more of a distributor, but not much has changed.
Yeah, well, to be honest, there has been a lot more scoring talent that we have in this squad. Benny Boatwright.
So
just
yeah. So the question is, I think his senior year, if he's actually really gonna, because right now I think we both know he's not an NBA point guard right now.
Not yet.
No, I don't even think he'd be drafted. He might be like late second round if he was lucky right now.
Not even, I don't think so,
yeah,
to be honest.
or undrafted.
Yeah.
He's likely undrafted. So he's the guy I'm looking for next year. I mean, he's averaging around 13 right now. Last year he was averaging about 13.4. So the question is, is he going to make that step as a senior? But now let's go to our next player, Elijah Stewart. What are your thoughts on this season?
Okay, Elijah Stewart started off really well. In the beginning of the season, he was pouring in 30 against teams. I thought he was going to be our main threat offensively. Then he kind of hit a plateau. He disappeared completely against
he was just
Oregon, Arizona, even
towards the end of this, towards the end of the season he got better though. He got better at the end.
Yeah, and if you remember, in our first 4 game against Providence, he didn't score at all.
Even then, he's just kind of erratic, I guess. 3-point percentage, field goal percentage, he's alright.
Yeah, but he made up with that SMU game, came up with huge baskets.
So
and that's what he can be like. I feel like senior year, if he does that on a consistent basis, where he just knocks down shots, plays great defense, and
I see him kind of like McLaughlin in the way where they really need to step it up if they want to make it to, of course, the NBA. He's going to be a senior next year. And the number that I do like about him, though, is he averages 1.2 blocks. And he's only 6'4", 6'5". This is surprising.
He needs to grow in that role of
he needs
3
consistency.
And D. That's what I need.
He needs consistency.
Yeah.
That's what he needs. But let's go into the play of Shaquan Aaron. What are your thoughts?
Shaquan Aaron, I'm not really sure how I feel with him, to be honest. The only game I remember that he did well was against UCLA at home. 20 points.
Right, and if you look at our last 4 games, our last 4 games against tournament teams and UCLA, he scored 0 points in about 40 minutes. He didn't score at all. Yeah,
he didn't score against Providence, SMU, or Baylor, which is really strange. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school.
He's a really streaky player in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some games where you're like, wow, this guy could be, my starting player, but there's other games where you just think, why? Get this guy off the floor. I mean, he's just playing bad sometimes. Shot 39.2% on the year, which, I don't know, it's not the worst, but it's not good either. So I think it's going to be even harder for him next year too, I think, with some incoming players, which we'll talk about later. And now let's get into Benny Boatwright. What are your thoughts on his season?
Well, you can see the immediate impact Benny has on this team. When we lost him on that San Diego team, you could tell we were grinding out wins. We never blew out an opponent, even if we were supposed to. And when Benny came back, he got us around 18 a game, I think.
He averaged about 15.1 on the season. But you look at the last games he had, and or toward the end, and Boatwright, there's a few times where he just has the problem. Is sometimes he has these off nights where he just shoots up shots, and his shot selection, it's not really the best. But he's a damn good shooter, and he has a really nice stroke. Shoots 36.4 from 3, but that's because of the shot selection he takes. They're just wild threes, honestly. 91% from the line.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And okay, we'll get into the question later, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, let's talk about our star player in Shemezi Metu.
Yeah, I think Metu really proved himself, and just like Boatwright, Boatwright improved a good amount from his freshman year, and I think if Boatwright comes back next year, he's gonna be a star. But for Metu really improved. He was the
Pac-12 most improved player.
He went from averaging 6.4 points to 14.8. He went from averaging 3.6 boards to 7.8. He also averaged 1.5 blocks, and he shot 55% from the field and 74% from the line.
Yeah, and actually the funny thing is that one thing that came out of the Boatwright injury is Metu stepping up. Actually, yeah, he became our go-to guy in the clutch. You remember that Colorado game?
And Metu was our second. Yeah, Metu really shined also in the Baylor game. Had 28 points, shot 11 of 14. And what I really love about Metu, however, is, I mean, you just look at the percentages. He used to shoot 51 from the free throw line, 74
now. Yeah.
And increased volume too. He's shooting more free throws and making more. He's shooting more shots, and he's making it on a higher percentage too. So I mean, there's nothing to complain about here, in my opinion. I mean, really surprised me. He's really fast. There's no other.
Great hands too, and he has range.
I don't think there's any other power forward or center in the NCAA that moves as fast or that can run as fast as Metu. Metu's just.
Yeah, and that's basically why NBA scouts are just drooling over him,
So let's go over our next player, Jonah Matthews. What are your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, when we first got him around last year March, I didn't think he was going to have a big impact because I was betting on, Julian Jacobs staying, Shaquan Arian playing a
both
bigger
of them
role.
Decided that sport out.
Yeah. And I also factored in Shaquan having a bigger impact. But, since Shaquan has been a little bit disappointing, Jonah Matthews has played pretty well for a freshman season, He's come off the bench, provided
and he has
sparks.
some pretty nice games. He's not afraid to shoot the three at all. He just shoots it whenever.
Yeah, his corner shot especially is really deadly. And
he's a decent defender. He's, with minutes, he's easily going to average maybe even 2 steals a game.
Yeah.
But overall, however, I feel, of course, he still has more to learn. He's only a freshman.
Yeah.
He's shooting 37% on the year, but that'll definitely go up, I think. With practice.
Hopefully he'll be as good as his brother in Gonzaga right now.
I think he could even replace when Stewart and McLaughlin leave next year. I think Matthews could take one of the spots. But now let's go over our next player.
Let's talk about
Rakocevic. Yeah. That's the one we need covered.
Yeah.
All right, Nick Rakocevic or Rakocevic, however you want to pronounce it. I mean, I can't lie. It wasn't too bad of a year. He shot 56% from the field, averaging 15 minutes and 5 points. Not the worst, but not the best. But at times, there's some games where he showed himself. I mean, he's not really a strongly built guy either. Kind of skinny. And it's surprising. He's tough. He actually gets a lot of rebounds. And he plays defense hard. He fouls a lot, but...
So that's a freshman's mistake and quality. Well, what I feel about Rakocevic was during the regular season, he got a lot more minutes than what he was intended to. Jovanovic was supposed to stay one more year, but of course he bolted.
And Jovanovic in the I looked up his D-League stats. It's not too bad, but it's not what I do.
That's not NBA, But regarding Rakocevic, in the beginning, he seemed rattled with the amount of minutes that he's getting, but as time went on, he began to embrace the role. And actually, in the first 4 games...
he has some nice games.
Yeah, the first 4 games against Providence, we were down now, and we needed something from the bench. And Rakocevic came in, 9 points, 8 rebounds, and actually brought us back in the game as a freshman, which is, really promising.
But
yeah.
But he had, decent contributions across the board. He gets some blocks, more than I would think sometimes.
Yeah, he needs to... One thing he needs is bulk up.
He needs to bulk up. We already got Metu, who's kind of skinny, but Metu is fast. Metu is really athletic. I'm not saying Rakocevic is slow, but...
Yeah, especially if he wants to play the 5, he needs to put on at least 10 to 15 pounds to match up with
And
other
I want to
people.
see if he will take any threes or more mid-range shots next year. He took 0 threes this year, which is surprising. He was kind of advertised as someone that could shoot it a little bit. So we'll have to see about that.
We'll see.
Now that we went through our... Oh, you can't forget. DeAnthony Melton.
Yes. In my opinion, he's the best freshman out of the three this year. You know, I feel like he's going to be...
he even started at the end.
The replacement of Jacobs, to be honest. Him and Jacobs have a similar role. Very, like, consistent.
Athletic.
Athletic.
6'4", athletic.
And he can score, rebound, steal, and assist, and defense. So
he has in 27 minutes a game last year, he was getting 1.9 steals and also 1 block at 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
And then his shooting percentages dipped over the year as games got harder.
Yeah.
But he still averaged around 8 points, which isn't too bad considering he really didn't even get a starting spot until the end of the year. And his future is bright.
He's not the type of guy who will get you 20 a night, but he'll do everything else.
Yeah, he even gets you 4.7 boards at 6'4" in not that many minutes, and 3.5 assists. He almost kind of like a Rajon Rondo, a little bit, not really though. But you know my point. He does a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So that basically wraps up most of the players that were in the rotation. So let's go over the big question that some of you guys might have. Will Chimezie Metu and Benny Boatwright leave for the NBA?
Okay, in my opinion, I feel that Chimezie Metu is a guarantee to go. Okay, he's
he's gonna get drafted.
Number 9 sophomore on the boards, and some scouts are pretty hyped up over him and his talent that he has. So that could yield a late first round.
And I think especially after his performance in the tournament, I think against Jonathan Motley, 28 points and 5 boards. That's nice. Yeah. And I definitely think, let's just think about it. You're talking a guy that's 6'10", 6'11", but moves like a guard. You know, he can dribble the ball, and he really improved his mid-range and free throw shooting. So he's not a liability there. Yeah. And he has a smooth shot. He could be a guy that possibly shoots threes one day even.
Yeah.
And then
he's very versatile too. He can either play power forward and center, and good hands,
And he also blocks shots.
Great paint presence. So I'm pretty sure he leaves. Probably, if I have a number, 80% he's gone. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, I'd say it's as much of a chance as Adoree Jackson or Juju Smith leaving.
Yeah,
I'd put it around there. And while, of course his frame isn't really built up, and of course he can still work on his game, you still look at it, 56% shooting from the field. He has some post moves. And he has really, really strong potential, and I think an NBA team is going to jump at the athleticism.
Yeah.
So he could even be a late first round pick. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
See that too. Let's talk about Boatwright. What do you think?
Okay, Boatwright, in my opinion, I think he needs to stay. I feel like it'd be great for him to stay. But I know Benny Boatwright and his personality. He's a confident guy. This is a guy that's not afraid to do whatever he wants. But I'm worried because his game, as much as there's some games where you just really think, wow, this guy is going to be something special, you still have a few games where he's not that consistent. You look at his defensive numbers. In his freshman year, he was averaging 0.8 blocks and 0.4 steals, which isn't too bad. But this year they slipped to 0.4 and 0.4. So defensively, he's not going to do that much for you. And however, NBA teams will look at it, of course, his skill set, 6'10", not a skinny guy. He is a decently built. He can shoot the three. He took about almost 7 threes a game last year, and this year, and he shot it around 36-37%. So he can clearly shoot 91% from the line. And I think that alone, you're talking with 6'10", with the shooting guard skill set. and he can move too, and he can post. So I think, yeah, definitely. If he declares, he will be drafted, but it'll be in the late second round. And I just don't think that's safe when next year, if he stays one more year, I mean, he clearly improved this year, right?
Yeah.
So I think if he stayed one more year, worked on his game, improved his defense, improved his athleticism a bit, next year he'd be a first round pick. So I don't see the rush to get out of SC, especially when, if you stay, I mean, we're gonna have a great run next year. I think we might. I mean, next year we're definitely making the tournament.
Yeah.
Will we get to the Sweet 16? Maybe. I think if Boatwright stays, I'll go as far to say that I think we make the Sweet 16.
Yeah. All the points you made are valid, but one thing why I think there's a pretty 50-50 chance he might say is because, one, he was injured for about 3 months, and when he first came back and in the beginning of the season, his averages weren't that good, and that's even though he had a really strong finish to the season, those games in the beginning eventually evened out, and what his final average wasn't as buffed up as it should have been.
Right, he missed 17 games on the season.
Yeah. And also you have to consider that, Shemezi Matu's gone next year.
Right, so
I'm gonna be the go-to guy.
Yeah, you're the go-to guy in the front court too.
Yeah.
You're gonna get all the shots you want. All of them. You're gonna be getting, like a star. You're gonna be putting up, you could easily put up 20 a game.
And then, as you said earlier, he's a confident guy. So he probably thinks that, late second, not good enough for me. And if I'm getting all the shots that I want, then
here's the problem with
next year I can
a lot of
round.
NBA players, though. I mean, you look at it last year, Julian Jacobs and Nikola Jovanovic. What did they think? Players always think, okay, I'm a good player. If I declare and I do good in the, workouts, maybe I'll improve my stock. Problem is, it doesn't always work like that. And then what happened to Jacobs and Jovanovic? Both of them are in the D League. Right? Instead of staying 1 year and getting more money. I think Boatwright should stay, but if you're gonna give me, if I was to give a percentage on him leaving, my guess would be 60-70%.
I'd put it 50-50, but that's just my opinion. So
I'd say 60%. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
So that basically wraps up basketball.
Yeah.
Now to football.
Yeah, it was a great season though. Very proud. Even though we lost, I feel like we exceeded expectations this year.
USC basketball is actually becoming, we're actually becoming, possibly a power someday. Someday soon.
Yeah.
If we keep this up.
Hopefully.
And then in another podcast we'll go over the incoming recruits, but we have some good talent coming in.
Yeah.
2 5-stars too, by the way. Let's enter football.
Yeah, let's head into football. So, as you know, spring practice just started about a week ago, and there has been a lot of news that has been going on. Let's talk about the wide receiver core. Let's talk about it real quick. Number one, it's pretty easy. Deontay Burnett.
Definitely.
We're not gonna spend too much
it's
time
pretty
talking
clear.
about it.
He's gonna be our number 1 receiver next year. You saw in the Rose Bowl and in practices, it's been shown. I mean, you really look at him and you wouldn't think this is your team's best receiver. He's not super tall, not super strongly built, but he's just so solid and runs such nice routes. So it wouldn't surprise me. I think he'll be a 1,000-yard receiver next year, or close to it.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Probably gonna get drafted too.
Possibly.
Let's talk about this year's version of Deontay Burnett in Velus Jones Jr.
Velus, yeah.
Yep.
Velus Jones. All right. So he was a freshman last year, redshirted, from Alabama.
Yeah.
Not a super tall receiver, but He was said to be really fast.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't hear much about him at all throughout his freshman year, and it wasn't really too surprising. He was a 3-star, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we've been hearing so far in this first week of practice, he's been looking really nice. He's been looking really fast, actually, and could be a deep threat. I think you're definitely going to see him on the field next year.
Yeah.
Whether he'll be a star, we don't know yet, but deep routes, I'd assume that's more where he's best at.
And the funny thing was that way
He's more of a slot receiver too.
Yeah, slot receiver or deep threat. One thing that's like pretty interesting to note was that when we first recruited him, he actually decommitted for a day to commit to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And then he came back the next day. It's like, oh, I want back in. So that's kind of why, I thought he was going to transfer out this year. 0 minutes at all. I didn't even hear his name at all.
Yeah, the receiver rotation, as you guys know,
really deep. Yeah.
Really deep.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go into our next guy, Tyler Vaughns.
Yeah. Tyler Vaughns.
Yeah, former 4-star, 5-star receiver.
Yeah. He's basically a very solid receiver. I feel like that he could win over the Stephen Mitchell job, as
he's kind of like the Marvell Tell of the receivers.
Yeah, not really talked about, but just solid, great route runner,
outstanding. I guess speed or athletic wise, but
he's just
really
like
smart.
All around.
Yeah, super clean routes. In fact, if you guys want to, I would go to his Instagram account. And there's a few clips of him running routes, and they're just so clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his role next year, so far, has been pretty. I think he'll be on the field next year. I don't know if he'll be the star, but he'll get a few opportunities.
Yeah.
So next, Michael Pittman. Last year, he was our only receiver that was really playing.
Yeah, as a freshman. And to be honest, I haven't really heard much of him.
But I think we will, though. I think he will eventually emerge as. I think he'll be starting at.
Yeah, I think he was hurt for a while. He was carrying some sort of injury during last week, so that gave opportunities to Velus Jones. But I'm sure we will hear a lot of him. He could even be the kick returner and punt returner too. That's what
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think Burnett or Jack Jones is probably gonna be our returners. Jack Jones, I think he's gonna be the returner.
Yeah.
Definitely, actually. Give me a second.
Okay, sorry about that. Let's talk about who do you want to talk about now?
Let's go over Betiku. Yeah.
Yeah, Betiku. Okay, so from what I've been hearing, Betiku has been beasting.
Yeah, if you guys don't know who he is, he was a former 5-star / 4-star D-end. And he was a really, freak athlete, top 10 overall player in the nation, and he was a freshman last year.
Didn't really see too much playtime, but Clancy has promised him that he's gonna be the starter this year. And from what I can tell, he's been really fast off the edge, and he's gotten even 2 interceptions, a few batted down balls.
Right, he's a guy with freakish athleticism. He could play linebacker, D-end. You're just talking really crazy athleticism for a guy his size. He's like 6'4", 6'5", 240. He's just moving really quick. He actually ran a 4.6 40 in high school, and he's only been playing football, I think, now for probably 3 years.
Yeah. Definitely probably one of the best people that will benefit from spring practice.
I thought that last year, I thought he would get like 5 sacks his freshman year. That didn't turn out to happen, but I think next year you guys are going to hear about him.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about one player that is no longer our player, but trying to get back to the program, and that's EJ Price.
So when we were 1-3 early in the season, EJ Price, from Georgia, freshman, understandably, he'd be pissed off at 1-3. This probably wasn't what he signed up for. And then he eventually quit on the team, basically, or not quit on the team, but he decided to transfer out.
Yeah. There's been a lot of rumors about that. I'm not really sure if he got kicked out. Kicked off the team because, I heard he punched somebody and,
that wasn't... I don't know if that's really true, though. I've heard about it, but...
Yeah, but I feel like the general consensus of the team was that he was having a really foul attitude and seemed like...
I think more he was homesick. Yeah, he was homesick.
Yeah. But now... At one
point, I think even, he's going to be our starting tackle. Chuma Idoga is also about to transfer too.
But now... Well, first of all, he never left USC, apparently. He was still enrolled in classes. And, after making, a 9-0 run and a Rose Bowl win...
I think, he decided maybe I should get back in.
Yeah. And
that's what he's trying right now. But
that's what he's trying, but, that's kind of
the situation is still complicated. Nothing official has come out about it yet. But we do know that he's trying to get back.
I've also heard that back in high school, he was considered a 5-star offensive tackle.
Yeah, he was like a high 4-star.
High 4-star, high 5-star, but his potential was like pretty high as well, which is why
you're talking about he's 6'6" and he has pretty big size.
Yeah.
So now let's also talk about Max Bormeister.
Matt Bormeister,
yeah. The guy that kicked the game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
The Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
But now he's off the team, and I don't think he's getting back. He was kicked off for an incident with a girl, and you know how those go.
Yeah. Well, he was left off the spring practice team, and to be honest, there's still a slight chance that he could come back, but
yeah, we've already went out and got a replacement.
We got a new kicker, and I think that's it for him, That's already, telltale sign that he's no longer going to be on the team. And now we have to put it in a redshirt freshman in Michael Brown as our kicker. So instead of a redshirt senior, Matt Bormeister, who nailed the game-winning field goal, has really high confidence, and we know he has a huge leg, we're stuck with, Michael Brown, not really sure where he's from, heard of him, and, I've also heard that during the first week, he's been all over the place. He can nail 48-yarders, like maybe one or two of them, but miss a 36 yards, so... Kicking
won't be the best, for now at least. But right now it's not looking like the greatest situation. So... Yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna enter... Is there anything else? Alright, so we're gonna enter our little part where we talk about miscellaneous questions, anything. And you guys can send in questions on the NBA, basketball. If you got any LeVar Ball questions, that guy's crazy. LaMelo Ball with his, weird things. You guys can say anything.
Oh, wait, one thing. LeVar means wash in Spanish?
Yeah, so his name literally translates into to wash balls. And I can't even believe that people haven't caught on to that yet.
Yeah.
He is crazy. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna hear next about him.
Yeah. Send us some LeVar questions. That would be really funny.
Okay, so let's go into 2 questions.
I'll ask this one for you first. Okay. Would you rather have one of our football players be really good at SC and then bust in the NFL?
So, kind of like Rachel Fish.
Yeah. Or really bad at SC but be really good in the NFL?
I'd have to go... I'd go good at SC because I don't really watch... I mean, I do watch NFL, but it's not really that much.
Yeah, same
But
here.
what if it was for your favorite NFL team?
Well, same as you, I don't really have a favorite
yeah,
NFL
I don't really
team,
have a favorite.
But, we're both SC fans. We're doing the podcast. Gotta go with SC,
I know a lot of guys are like Raiders fans, but yeah, I honestly don't really support any NFL teams that much. So let's get into our next question. So, would you always get away with lying? So you can lie and you can always get away with it, or would you always be able to tell when someone's lying?
I feel like it's better to know when someone's lying to you. I mean,
you'd be hurt though sometimes, like if they told you.
I mean, like it's better to know the truth, right? It's better to have like the real conception of the situation instead of a fake one. Like
right, so you can plan your way around it.
Yeah, it's kind of like let's say your girlfriend's cheating on you.
Yeah, I know.
And then you're like, are you cheating on me? And then you can tell if she's telling the truth or not. That would solve a lot of complex situations.
You'd actually know what's happening. You wouldn't be stuck in that situation where you believe her, and let's say she's lying to you.
Yeah.
Screwed over.
You could also think of it like going to a recruit. Are you interested in USC?
Yeah, and he tells you no. And
like
the reality is no. Yeah,
like,
he tells you, yeah, I love the Trojans, and I'm definitely considering them. When in reality, he's thinking, no, like
yeah.
Right, you'd be wasting your time on someone in some of those cases. I feel like you'd be disappointed, but at the same time, yeah,
you just know.
I'd probably lean to that too. Because if you can always get away with lying, the problem is it would take away some of the fun in your life, I think.
Yeah.
Because if you can always get away with it, then I'm not like advising you to lie, because that's not a good thing to do. But it would take away, I guess, some of the fun of it, and it almost make life a little too easy in some ways.
Takes out the life aspect of life, basically. You don't know. There also has to be like a time in life where you're unsure about what you're gonna do and you have to take a chance. So.
Yeah, I think if you always get away with lying, you'd end up just lying all the time, honestly, or you'd be. I feel like that's what I would probably be doing, and that's why I wouldn't choose it. So that basically wraps it up, right?
Yeah, and I feel like our podcast is gonna drop every Sundays at around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and you guys can listen to it on Monday.
Check it out on the website.
Yeah, you guys can listen to it on your Monday drive to work, or whenever you're bored and you have time to kill. Just pop it in and listen to your favorite team,
Yeah, because I always know that you guys, a lot of you go to work, and a lot of times, work's boring, of course. Work isn't super fun for most people. So, just make it, and also, send in whatever you want. We promise, we'll reply.
Yeah, drop in the comments. Doesn't matter whatever it is.
Keep it fun, yeah,
even
keep
if
it fun.
Random, just drop it. No worries.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
So I'm Aaron, and I'm out.